My INTJ buddy, he gave me this t-shirt. I'm gonna send him this. Um, yeah. Let me know if you got the hat I shipped you because I don't trust that company. I'm tracking it, but anyway, let me get to let me get to the point I'm trying to make. I remember someone once or twice or three times, or I lost count in life, how many people think that they could go around telling others, oh, you know why you're the way you are? It's your thinking. Your stinking thinking. Anyway, uh, someone asked me a question on because it could be dismissive or gaslighting. Oh, everything that's going on with you, it's just your thinking. You don't have good thinking. Okay. Someone asked me this, and I will read and close out. What do you think of someone who says the problem is your thinking when you're actually experiencing something for years, even though you want to change the situation? Is gaslighting a solution? First, let me be clear, gaslighting is never the solution. Now, as for someone telling you the problem is your thinking, when you've been struggling with something real for years, that depends entirely on context and who's saying it. Before I get offended by someone telling my thinking is a problem, I evaluate how long has this person known me? Do they actually understand my situation, or are they making assumptions based on a surface level conversation? What has this person accomplished? Are they speaking from experience and wisdom, or are they just repeating self-help cliches they heard somewhere? Do I want to learn from them? Is this someone whose perspective I value, or are they just inserting themselves into my life uninvited? The problem with your thinking is wrong. Some people go through life aimlessly telling others they have wrong thinking, but isn't it wrong to assert oneself as the right thinker and others as wrong? We all learn and experience life at different pace. What works for one person doesn't work for another. And more importantly, not every problem is a thinking problem. Sometimes the problem is an abusive relationship, not your perception of it. A toxic work environment, not your attitude about it. Financial instability, but not your scarcity mindset. Chronic illness, not your negative thoughts. When someone dismisses years of real struggle by saying, it's just your thinking, what they're really saying is, your problem makes me uncomfortable, so I'm going to pretend it's not real. That's gaslighting. However, and this is important, sometimes our thinking does contribute to our problems. If you catastrophize every situation, if you assume the worst about people's intentions, if you're stuck in learned helplessness, if you refuse to see any possibility of change, in those cases, a therapist, mentor, or trusted friend might gently point out, have you considered that how you're thinking about this might be keeping you stuck? The difference between helpful reframing and gaslighting. Helpful reframing acknowledges your experience is real, helps you identify thought patterns that might be making things harder, offers tools and support, respects your agency. Gaslighting dismisses your experience as invalid, blames you for the situation entirely, offers no real support, just judgment, makes you question your own reality. So, what do I think of someone who says the problem is your thinking when you've been struggling for years? I think they are either trying to be helpful but lacking nuance, uncomfortable with your pain and trying to make it go away, gaslighting you to avoid accountability, especially if they're part of the problem. What actually helps instead of the problem is your thinking. What helps is, I hear you. That sounds really hard. What have you tried so far? Is there a way I can support you? Have you considered talking to a professional who specializes in this? Acknowledging someone's reality while exploring solutions that's supportive. Dismissing their reality and blaming their mindset, that's gaslighting. And no, gaslighting is never the solution. Ooh, there it was.